Hi humans! How exciting is this time for my proud... I'm such a proud fan right now. Just a proud human. They're so freaking cool, these boys. My dream job used to be, back when I wanted to be a politician. I wanted to be a politician up until the third year of university.
President Abdullah Saeed, Secretary General Antonio Guterres,
And my goal was to be the SG of the UN.
I am extremely delighted to join you at
that's not my
SDG
dream
Moment
anymore.
2021.
Okay.
And I am grateful for inviting me to this special occasion. A research institute of the United Nations
this is not going to be
recently
much of a
released a
reaction.
report
It's just going to be
that
me
found that all disasters
watching.
in the world are interconnected. For instance,
That makes sense.
the heat wave in the Arctic and cold wave in Texas, as well as the COVID-19 pandemic and Cyclone Amphan that hit Bangladesh, are closely connected with one another through the links of carbon emissions and environmental destruction.
Oh.
If the problems are interconnected, then so be the solutions. When humanity transcends national
I thought he was going to say that they connected, because humans... I don't know.
to work together,
Something about
humanity
humanity
would be first step towards surmounting a crisis. Right in this hall 6 years ago, the UN agreed to adopt the Sustainable Development Goals, and 2 years ago, it proclaimed the Decade of Action until 2030. Humanity's strides towards an inclusive future were held back by COVID-19. Yet, ironically, it was the very pandemic that brought home the desperate need for SDGs. Our commitment to action grew stronger. We must move ourselves beyond simply overcoming the crisis to build back better and stronger. If actions that we take together are interconnected, we will deliver without a doubt. First, our commitment to inclusion and mutual prosperity must be immediately put into action now.
Okay.
That action can begin with an equitable access and distribution of COVID-19 vaccines by the international community. At G7, the Republic of Korea made a $200 million pledge to COVAX AMC. As one of the global vaccine hubs, we're committed to making continued endeavors to expand vaccine supply and support. Taking a step further, we stand ready to actively contribute to strengthening international health cooperation at WHO, among others. Second, we must collaborate beyond our borders in responding to the climate crisis. Our planet is getting hotter faster than anticipated, with extreme weather events occurring one after another in every part of the world.
But good luck getting selfish bastards to actually go along with
developing
that.
Countries alike must move towards in tandem.
We know which countries
to this
are
end,
emitting.
leading countries in climate action must partner with developing countries by sharing their experiences and transferring
I would say
technologies.
history will remember you, but
Korea
we'll all be gone. So there is no future.
Carbon neutrality scenario by the end of next October.
Because we're all going to be dead.
And submit
Just like
its
humanity,
updated
because of global warming.
at COP26. Korea will scale up Green New Deal ODA and share its experience and
we know which
technology
countries didn't sign
as
the
a
Green
nation
New
that has
Deal.
grown from a developing to a developed one, thus actively supporting developing countries in their endeavors towards green recovery and carbon neutrality. Third, sustainable development demands that we fully harness the fourth...
Did he say that we must focus? What must we do to developing countries? I'm sorry, is it not developed countries that are that emit the more what did he say?
A developed one. Thus, as a nation that has grown from a developing to a developed one, thus actively supporting developing countries in their endeavors towards green recovery and carbon neutrality. Third, sustainable development demands that we fully harness the fourth industrial revolution technologies. Digital technologies and infrastructure, however, engender new divides and inequalities at the same time. Addressing the digital gap and inequalities thus presents another challenge of our time. These are the problems that we also encounter in energy transition process. Our digital and green transitions, therefore, must be inclusive and leave no one behind.
마지막으로
Lastly, we must respect our future generations and gather the wisdom for
What
intergenerational
happened to our other
coexistence.
translator?
We must move beyond our differences in ideas and cultures across generations. All generations, as we strive to transcend the boundaries of nationality, race, and gender, to communicate and connect to one another, must recognize that after all, we are part of a global community. For poverty, inequality, climate change, and other crises that remain unresolved by older generations, the voices of future generations must be heard more attentively, as so doing would
But it's like,
indeed
do
be a
future
duty as to the
generations
older
exist?
generations.
Considering how things are
Fearing
going,
change,
do
the older
those...
generations have left many problems unsolved,
Oh,
yet the
wow.
younger generation's sensitivity and capacity for empathy may find us the solutions. We must not
That's a nice
forget,
line.
in particular, that the future belongs to our future generations. Joining us today are an exceptionally outstanding group of young men who are connecting with the youth across the world, BTS, in the capacity as a special presidential envoy for future generations and culture. Together with BTS, the first ever special envoy from the private sector, I hope today's gathering will serve as an opportunity to mobilize the future generations' goodwill and action towards sustainable development. Guided by the conviction that no one is safe until everyone is safe, the Korean people will join the journey of inclusive international cooperation as your most reliable, steadfast companion, leaving no one behind.
I mean,
Thank you.
inclusivity... Okay. Let's hope what you are saying happens.
예, 이게
I guess.
이제 제가
So I am going to introduce the next
It's
speaker to the
just...
podium.
I'm so amused by the difference between like his
Probably the
tone
artist that is
and his
most
voice
loved by people around the world.
and the translator.
Who have been designated as the Special Presidential Envoy for Future Generations and Culture. We're going to listen to their story, the BTS.
The BTS, the Bangtan boys. Bangtan in the building. I mean, I just have lots of thoughts on his speech. Interesting. Curious to hear what the boys say, what the guys say, what the special envoys say. Again, I'm not even pretending I have solutions. I don't. I weirdly had a discussion today with a lady at the gym, like this 70-year-old, like British lady who lived in Japan and then Canada, and like at some point Zimbabwe, like so she just trapezed the globe. And she had some
Your
interesting
Excellency
opinions.
Abdullah Shahid, President of the 76th United Nations General Assembly, Your Excellency Secretary General Antonio Guterres, Your Excellency President Moon Jae-in, and distinguished leaders from around the world. It is an honor to be here today, where BTS appointed a special presidential envoys of the Republic of Korea. We're here today to share
I'm going to need to also hear them in their voices. But yes, for me to get the speech. The speech
stories
is
of
the
our future
important
generation.
part.
Before we came here, we asked the young people in their teens and 20s around the world about their past 2 years and about the world they find themselves in today.
They did?
Jane will
When?
share some of the answers we received. Yes, should we take a look? You can feel the good vibes from just looking at these. There were times during the past 2 years when I too felt bewildered and troubled. But still here, we have people who
Let's
cry
live
out,
on.
let's live on, let's make the best of this moment. Because we can't stand still when we are in the ideal time of our lives to take on new challenges. It wasn't as if we could blame anyone, and you must have felt the frustration. Here I'm the same as I was yesterday, but the world changed like we were transported in a flash to a parallel world.
Yeah.
I was saddened to hear that entrance and graduation ceremonies had to be cancelled. These are moments in life you want to celebrate,
It is. It is.
and missing out on them must have been upsetting.
Yeah.
We were heartbroken when our long-planned concert tours were cancelled. And for a while,
Postponed
we
and then
yearned
cancelled.
for the moments we wanted to make complete. Yes, it was a time for us to mourn for the things that COVID took away from us. A time to discover how precious each and every moment we'd taken for granted were.
In a way, yeah, that's true.
Suga mentioned the precious things we'd taken for granted. And lots of people answered our question by sharing pictures of their precious moments. Many
This is
people
adorable.
showed
I
how
can't
they
believe they
shared
made a
their moments with
presentation.
nature.
Like, they actually
I
made a
think during
presentation.
these 2
That is
years,
adorable.
they found dear the time they experienced and care for nature. Yes, but maybe because we feel an encroaching sense of dread that our time on this earth is limited, we just talked about the things we mourn, and I shudder to think about mourning for the earth. Everyone agrees that climate change is an important problem, but talking about what the best solution might be, that's not easy. It's a topic that's tough to make conclusions about. Yes, it is
Also,
a
it's
tough
too late,
discussion.
isn't it? Aren't we already
But I
screwed?
learned
Aren't we up the
while
creek?
preparing for today that there are many young people who have an interest in environmental issues and choose it as their field of study. The future is unexplored territory, and that's where we, more
True.
than anyone,
Guys,
will
I'm way
spend
too
our
negative.
time. So these young
So this is
people
why
were
I
searching
love
for
them.
the
This is why I
answers to the
need them.
question of
Like, the
how we must
positivity,
live
the
that
good
future.
vibes. Wait, what? Sorry? But yeah, I
And
need
that's
their good
where
vibes.
we, more than anyone, will spend our time. So these young people were searching for the answers to the question of how
Oh,
we
that may,
must
yeah.
live that
Okay.
future. So I
Because
hope
all of these old people are gonna be dead, and they will have just left us. What's scary to me is that there's genuinely young people. Like, I consider myself a young person in my old age, but there's also, I mean, I experienced this in uni too, like, just people who have thoughts that I think are backwards, but that's because I think of myself as like super progressive, and I'm just like, I mean, guys, I like to call myself logically a communist. I am by necessity a capitalist, because I mean, we live in a capitalist society. What choice do I have but to participate in capitalism and in the capitalist endeavor? But I think logistically we could make communism work as the economic doctrine of the world. But in my heart, I think I'm an anarchist. I just want to burn it all down. Just burn it all down. But I don't know how that would happen. I don't have any ideas. Also, I'm just, a part of me is like, I am so comfortable in my middle class existence that a part of me is like, plus I'm probably not having kids. I'm most likely gonna adopt. So I'm really like, I just don't know. I don't know. But this is why we do need positive people. Maybe you guys, maybe like them, to counter the people. I've just given up on the world, I think. But hey, people like BTS remind me that the world isn't so bad and that there's still hope.
Don't just consider the future as grim darkness. We have people who are concerned for the world and searching for the answers. There are still many pages left in the story about us, and I thought we shouldn't talk like the ending's already been written. Of course, sometimes the world
We
seems
shouldn't,
stuck
and
in place
I tend
even
to
if
do
you're
that.
ready to go. Sometimes it feels like you've lost your way. There was a time when we felt the same way. I've heard that people in their teens and 20s today are being referred to as COVID's lost generation. That they've lost their way at a time when they need the most diverse
Who's saying that?
opportunities.
Who's
and
saying
must
that they've
try
lost
new
their way?
things.
Who's
But
saying?
I think it's a stretch to say they're lost just because the paths they tread can't be seen by grown-up eyes.
Yes, take a look at these pictures. Here we have many who are trying hard to
Guys,
continue their
again,
friendships online in new ways,
I
start learning new things.
I do love their little cardboard presentations. It literally reminds me of myself in grade school, maybe. That's when we did those, right? Because by high school, everything was like online, and you did like PowerPoint presentations, like, or PowerPoint orals. But this is legitimately like reminding me back, like taking me back to when I was a
Live
baby.
healthier lives. I'm sorry, excuse me.
네, 새롭게 공부를 시작.
That was so freaking. I mean, I get it. Listen, I've never spoken in front of the UN, but I've spoken like in front of a large group of people in like, and not like in school, like in an environment where I had to be like, and yikes. But also, what I've carried with me all these years is I remember when I did debating back in, oh gosh, this was maybe my first year of high school, so I was like a baby. I was like 13, 14, I think. And I remember my first debate, like a competition, and I remember I was so nervous. And I just remember my was it the teacher or the adjudicator? I think it was the adjudicator, where after everything was said and done, they came up to me and were like, oh, so you, like, we could tell, like, you were really nervous. And I was like, yeah. And my stutter used to be really bad back then. Well, no, actually, it's when it was on its way to being fixed. It wasn't bad, but like obviously, but when I was really nervous, it came out really bad. And they said to me, listen, you're always going to be nervous. Like, they speaking in front of a crowd of people, you're always going to be nervous. What you need to learn to do is to like those nerves, make those nerves your friend. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense, but I've just always carried that with me, and I don't know if it served me well. I've spoken in front of like lecture theaters of people, in front of like like what do you call, like rooms, big rooms, ballrooms, not ballrooms, but like, yeah. Again, never spoken in front of the UN, so I can't imagine how nervous I would be if I was German. But also just wait, the way he just sort of gathered himself.
Lives. I'm sorry, excuse me.
Breathe.
새롭게 공부를 시작하고 더
Yes, these kids are trying to learn new things, and
That's another thing. Literally, even last week, I had to do a virtual like speech presentation, and I made a mistake. I had actually, weirdly enough, still sitting here on my. These were my key cards. And as I was doing the speech, and I was doing this, you know, and then I also had the presentation up on Zoom, and then I was sort of every time. So I don't want you all to see what my speech was about, but my presentation. But I wrote on the top news. Can you see? New slide. I wrote new slide at the top of every. So these are all my key cards. Like, just look. And at the top of each where I needed to go new slide, I wrote it down, but at some point I forgot, and then I was off until someone was like, sorry, you know, I think there's something off between the slides, and then I was like, oh okay. but he's handled it much more professionally than I did. I was just like, ugh. And this was a Zoom presentation, so I don't know. I can't imagine if I'd made that mistake in person. I think I just would have been like, thank you, this is the end. I'm not gonna say anything anymore.
Trying to figure new things out.
But yeah, I mean,
they don't look
also
lost.
he's a
They
pro,
look
so
like they are finding new courage and taking on new challenges. I think that's why instead of the lost generation,
they
a
look
more
so
appropriate
freaking cool.
name would be
Just
the
like on a
welcome
superficial
generation.
level.
Because instead
Welcome
of
generation.
fearing change, this generation says welcome and keeps forging ahead. That's right. If we believe in possibilities and hope,
Look at
even when
them.
the unexpected happens, we will
Cool
not lose
kids.
our way, but discover new ones. There will be choices we make that may not be perfect, but that does not mean there will be nothing we can do. That's what I think. What is important are the choices we make when we're faced with change, right? Some of you heard the news that we're coming to the UN, and a lot of you were wondering whether we have been vaccinated. And I'll take this opportunity to say yes, all 7 of us. Of course, we received vaccinations. The vaccination was a sort of ticket to meeting our fans waiting for us and to being able to stand here before you today. Just like we said in our message today, we too are doing the things that we're able to do right now. Like the vaccinations, efforts are continuously underway to keep this new reality going forward. And I think the day
Sure.
we can meet again face to face is not far away. Until then, I hope we can fill each of our days to the brim with positive energy. We thought the world has stopped, but it continues to move forward. I believe that every choice
Like
we
an
make is the
echo
beginning of
in the
change, not the
forest.
end. I hope that in this nascent new world, we can all say to each other, welcome. And now, as we look forward to this future, the permission to dance is our message of welcome that we want to share with everyone today.
Guys, I tried as hard as I could to avoid. Okay, is it the video? Okay, I tried as hard as I could to avoid watching this because I saw it was everywhere on Twitter, so I didn't watch any. I saw clips. I know they're about to sing and dance here, but it's all over Twitter. It's literally all over Twitter because I am recording this on the day, but I'm posting it next week, I think. But this is being recorded. Well, no, not the day after. Yeah. JK, did you ever imagine you would be at the UN singing?
When it all seems like it's wrong, say hello to Elton John, to that feeling which is getting started.
Y'all are dancing and doing this thing at the UN. Guys, I'm sorry. So most people are going to be like, Wembley or Rose Bowl, sort of all of these iconic, Tokyo Dome, all of these iconic like places to say, like to perform. For me, this is like for a like this is my life's work. Like the UN, well, not the UN, but like politics and social studies. Social and political studies, I don't know how, but like this is my niche. This is where this is my area of expertise, this room, and I am so upset, like I am positively tickled by that they got to perform here. Like, to me, this is their greatest venue.
one flew through, we don't got things so right, yeah. So when it's over, the time is not so much to regret. Yeah, we keep going and stay up until we see the sunrise. So we say, I wanna dance, the music's got me going, and nothing that can stop how we move. Yeah, let's make a place and leave just like it goes.
Also, they look so good. Like, I mean, of course they look good. It's them who like, but they really look good. Too. I think it's just the like suit jacket soft, like just casual, like oh, I've been at work for a few hours vibe that they have going. It's like, oh yeah, no, it's midday. I just came back from lunch. That's the vibe they have right now. And I'm here. They're way too cool. They are so cool. You guys, what? How are you so cool? How? Guys, okay, this is adorable. Who are these lucky souls in the back? But do you know what would have been extra adorable? Imagine if they had world leaders doing this. I mean, to be fair, actually, never mind. Never mind. We don't need world leaders doing anything. I'm actually very happy that these people, I hope these people are like UN interns and like secretaries, you know what I mean? Like just staff members who are like, we love BTS. So, and like that were asked, imagine if like you were UN like secretary or something. Like not the secretary, but a secretary. Or like an intern, and then like you get asked to do this. That would be amazing. What's this? I think this is what I just watched. I think. Let me just confirm, right? Let me just confirm. Confirm. Yeah. Okay, it's what I just watched. Look at JK being all politician like, presidential like. Aww. This was a good speech. This was, I mean, listen, I do feel like a proud parent watching them. And also they did say lots of like good things. I think I do need to, in my own time, go back and like listen to the speech properly again and just, I guess, get a good understanding of it. But listen, they have hope for the future and they are actively working towards making the world a better place, and that's honestly beautiful. And they are giving people like me who have become so what's the word for it, who've become so disillusioned, hope. And you know that's not an easy thing. So they are miracle workers, and I believe in the future that they believe in, and I hope we as the human race can like get things done. So thank you for watching. I super duper appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time. Yeah, bye. Hi again. So I ended the video and then I literally was like, no, you shouldn't have done that. There's still this. So let's get into it.
It's so glad I've been young. When I heard sounds like a drum, beating louder with the rain guarded. When it all seems like it's wrong. Say love without joy to that feeling which is getting started.
They're so cool. Like, I know that's superficial.
It's
Because they're doing
really
important
an amazing
work here.
pleasure to have President of Korea with
But
us here today,
they,
President Moon.
but they are like, they're just generally so cool. President Moon on a very important anniversary. What? Oh, really? Oh,
Very important anniversary. But we're here with BTS, your special envoys for future generations and culture. Why are the Sustainable Development Goals important to you and also to the world?
우선 세상에는 저희가 지금 겪고 있는 팬데믹처럼 굉장히 다양한 또 어려움과 위기들이 있는데 SDG는 이 어려움과 위기를 해결하기 위해서 유엔에서 국가 간 또 민간, 로컬 간의 어떤 협력으로 설정된 그런 17개의 목표인 것으로 알고 있습니다.
listen,
사실
I genuinely
왜
hope we
이
do
SDG가
better with the
저희한테
SDGs than we did with the
저희는
MDGs.
현재 세대이면서도
And when I say
또
we,
앞으로 어떻게 보면
I
살아갈
mean-
날이 더 많은 동시에 미래 세대이기도
You know
하기
who I
때문에
mean.
SDG는 현재 세대와 미래 세대의 균형을 맞추기 위한 모두가 어떻게 보면 공평한 혜택을 누리기 위해서 설정된 공동의 목표라는 생각이 들어요.
That's the
그래서 저희는
dream.
현재 세대이면서도 미래 세대라는 책임감을 느끼기 때문에 굉장히 SDG에 대해서 중요하게 생각을 하고 책임감을 갖고 있는 부분이고 또 저희도 이제 대통령 특별사절로서 17개 목표 중에 인종차별과 혐오에 대한 그런 목표가 있는데 그런 발언에 대해서 경각심을 알리기 위해서 저희 SNS에 저의 의사를 표명하고 발언을 한 적이 있습니다.
Thank you so much for doing the Keep the Promise campaign and calling out hate speech. I think your messages are just the opposite. They're about love and they're about self-love. What inspired you, President Moon, to appoint BTS as your special envoy and also
Imagine
to
her,
bring them
like,
here
oh
to
my gosh, just on a superficial, on a superficial, like non-political sort of, in just a like in a genuinely beautiful human moment. How adorable is this whole thing?
attend this SDG moment with them? And just also, what are your expectations for what they will do as special envoys?
예, 멜리사 프레이밍 사무차장님 감사합니다. 우선은 지속 가능 발전이라는 목표는 우리 미래 세대에게 너무나 중요하기 때문입니다. 어떤 면에서는
I believe that the future is actually held in the hands of the future generations and so on and give us the power then. Just give, hand over our future, please. Thank you.
미래는 미래 세대의 것이라고 말할 수 있습니다. 오늘 우리가 지속 가능 목표에 실패한다면 앞으로 미래 세대들이 그 고통을 전적으로 짊어져야
It already is,
그런 면에서
unfortunately.
미래 세대들이
But it can be
지속 가능
addressed.
발전 목표 이 달성을 위해서 보다 많이 목소리를 내고 보다 많이 참여할 필요가 있다고 생각합니다. 우리 BTS는 최고의
Oh wow!
가수로
What high praise!
그 코로나 시대에 고통받는 이 세계 젊은이들에게 공감과
This is high
희망의
praise right
메시지를
here. I mean, deserved.
주었습니다. 많은 사랑을 받고 있지만 그 받은 사랑을 선한 영향력으로 이렇게 돌려드린다는 데 특별한 점이 있다고
Aww.
저는 BTS가 미래 세대, 젊은 세대들의 목소리를 대변하면서 그들이 보다 활발하게 참여할 수 있도록 이끌어내는 또
Sure, and they've been very successful at like doing that.
기대하고 오늘 대통령 특별 사주로 임명하고 동행하게 된 것입니다.
I mean, I saw a tweet or something about how many people actually watched this session of the UN, which was, I think it was a high number, and it was like, wow.
Music video that you just showed in the General Assembly Hall today. This isn't your first visit to the United Nations, but this was really
Orange, so
special.
cute.
And we're going to be, you recorded it
from 1 in the morning until into the early hours of Sunday. Some amazing video editor put it together, and it's out there in the world, and it's going to really bring the world into the United Nations. So thank you for that. Jimin,
Yes.
what are your impressions on your second visit to the
Why was that so adorable? Yes. Oh my gosh. That was. That was.
번째고요. 온라인을 포함해서 연설을 세 번째로 하게 되었습니다.
Yeah. Y'all are experts by now. You baby diplomats.
아직도 떨리고 긴장이 돼서 너무 떨리는데요. 어쨌든 늘 정말 과분한 영광이라고 생각을 하고 있고 동시에 또 무겁게 책임감을 또
Listen, as much as I'm so cynical about just world politics, there is still something so. I still occasionally buy into it all. Buy into like world peace. And I think the UN and the UN building in New York and the at The Hague, and it's definitely part of the like, you know, where I go even a cynical egg like myself. Yes, I called myself an egg. Can be brought to silence and think that the world can do better and will do better. You know? So I get how he's feeling.
이번에는 또
Is what I'm trying to say. Sorry.
늘 정말 과분한 영광이라고 생각을 하고 있고
invited here.
동시에 또 무겁게 책임감을 또 가지고 있습니다. 이번에는 또 대통령 특사로 이렇게 참석하게 되었는데 전 세계 미래 세대들에게 던진 질문들의 답을 바탕으로 그분들의 입장을 모든 세대들에게 전달할 수 있도록
Y'all did a
노력하고
good job.
정말 이번에 이런 기회를 주신 모든 분들에게 감사하다고 전해드리고 싶습니다.
Thanks so much, Jimin. Thank you.
She looks so
I
sweet.
can't believe you're nervous because you perform in front of so many people and have millions of fans, but I guess that means we're all human, right? So my next
She's being
question
so
to
kind.
J-Hope.
I like her. I like her
What
energy.
is
Don't know
your
her,
message,
but I
or
like
what
her
was your
energy.
message today to all of your
Because she's
fans?
the
I think I read there's
undersecretary
something like 90
of something
million around the world,
of
probably even
communication.
more. Your army.
Right, sorry, I'm missing the question.
My next question's to J-Hope. What is your message, or what was your message today to all of your fans? I think I read there's something like 90 million around the world.
90
probably
million
even more,
and
your
growing.
army. And what are the actions that you would like them to take?
이번에 미래 세대들의 다양한 의견과 답변을 보면서 팬데믹 상황임에도 불구하고 정말 꿈과 열정을 가지고 긍정적으로 살아가시는 분들이 정말 많다는 걸 다시금 깨달을 수 있었던 것 같아요. 그리고 여러분, 우리는 코로나 로스트
We're not the lost
제너레이션이 아니라
generation, we are the
웰컴
welcome
제너레이션입니다.
I truly believe, especially Gen Z, I see that in Gen Z, to be fair, like to be quite honest.
Thank you. I
Gen
love
Z
that
is going to
welcome
change the world, I
generation.
think.
Thank you
Us
so
millennials,
much.
well, I'm a
President
tired
Moon,
millennial,
the
but
Republic of Korea
but I
is
think
the first and so far the
I'm
only country.
okay, wait, but like Gen Z, I'm genuinely inspired by Gen Z. I'm also a little bit scared of them. Just a tiny bit.
In the world to transition from being one of the poorest countries in the world to having an advanced economy and to being a donor nation, and this just in a few decades. Why are the Sustainable Development Goals in this context important to you, even
I
as a
mean,
country
that has more
that
to do with
has
capitalism
overcome
and just
such
how problematic it
poverty and
is.
economic hardships?
예, 감사합니다.
I just hate, sorry, I also hate the
단순한
phrase developing country. It's like
경제성장뿐만
formerly
아니라
colonized
사회의 안정이나
countries.
통화,
Thank you very much.
그리고 또 환경의 지속 가능성 등을 포함하는 균형 있는 발전을 목표로 하는 것입니다. 그런 점에서 개도국뿐만 아니라 선진국들도 끊임없이 추구해야 하는 목표라고 할 수 있습니다. 한국은 반세기 만에 절대 빈곤에서 벗어나서 민주주의와 경제 성장을 함께 달성하면서
That is
선진국으로
amazing,
발전했지만 아직도 많은 문제가 있습니다. 많은 노력을 하고 있지만 여전히 노인 빈곤이 심하고 또 소득과 자산의 그 불평등과 양극화가 심각하고
I'm so curious.
여성들의 경우에는 사회 활동에 제약이
Okay.
있고 유리천정이
Listen,
없습니다.
he's saying a lot of
게다가 이번 코로나 팬데믹을 통해서 이런
things that are true in the world.
더 심화되었습니다. 그렇기 때문에 이 SDG는 한국으로서도 대단히 중요한 목표라고 할 수 있습니다. SDG의 그 핵심 원칙인 누구도 소외시키지 않는다라는 것은 한국 정부가 추구하고 있는 사람 중심의
That should be the goal of every country.
라는
People-centered, innovative, and
정확하게
inclusive.
일치한다고 말씀드릴 수 있습니다.
It would make the
Thank
world
you,
a better
President Moon. I
place.
heard in your speech to the General Assembly, to the SDG moment just now. I think you're speaking later in the week to the General Assembly, but in your speech you mentioned leave no one behind as a very important theme. But you also spoke of other achievements that you, even during this pandemic, have been able to work on that are linked to the SDGs. I think one was climate, and perhaps there are others, even during the pandemic, what has Korea been able to do to work towards the SDGs?
한국은 방역 모범 국가로 평가받고 있지만 한국도 코로나를 겪는 동안 취약계층이나
Unfortunately.
소상공인 자영업자들의 삶은 더욱더 어려워졌습니다. 요즘은 돌봄 격차나 교육 격차 같은 문제도 생겨나고 있습니다. 한국은 이런 그 함께
that's what they've
위기를
been meaning with
극복하기
inclusive.
위해서
My guys, I'm so
포용성을
stupid.
강화하고 있습니다.
I was on another wavelength. That's what they've been meaning with inclusiveness. Okay, I get it. Okay, kudos. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I'm an idiot.
재난 지원금을 지급해서 함께 위기를 극복하려는 그런 그 노력을 하고 있습니다.
Guys, I'm so stupid.
한국은 코로나 극복을 위해서 국제사회와 연대 협력하고 있습니다. 모두 125나라의 방역 물품을 지원하고 한국의 코로나 대응 경험과 기술을 공유를 하고 있습니다. 코박스의 2억 불 공여를 약속을 했고 지금 한국에서 4종류의 백신을 생산하고
Look at you guys.
앞으로
Thank you if you
글로벌
supplying them
백신
to us.
허브의
I think.
한
I don't know. Are you?
축을 더 많은
I
백신을
actually don't know where we're getting our vaccines from.
전 세계인들에게 보급하려는 노력을 지속하려고 합니다. 기후 위기 대응에
Wait. What did he say?
더 많은 백신을 더 공평하게 전 세계인들에게 보급하려는 노력을 지속하려고 합니다. 기후 위기
that's what- yeah, me too, girl, me too.
대응에 그 있어서는
Also, can I be your assistant? Again, don't know this lady, but she seems cool.
석탄 발전소를 조기 폐쇄하고 해외의 신규 석탄 발전소에 대해서는 공적 금융의 지원을 중단했습니다. 대신에 개도국들에 대해서 그린 또는
Like an intern, not an
ODA
assistant.
를
I could be an assistant actually.
늘렸고 또 개도국에서 선진국으로 이렇게 발전한 한국의 경험을 살려서
But my thing is like, how do we define? Like, I just have a problem with how we define develop,
그런 역할을 하고 있습니다.
but also
Thank
who
you very
defines
much, Mr.
develop.
President, and thank you very much, BTS,
And
for all you're doing to make this world a better place, and thank you for connecting your message to the messages of the United Nations, which is also just trying to make this world much more livable, much more humane, and much more just. So, Thank you for taking the time to do this interview. And
Okay, UN, I see you. I see you, UN. Okay, I think now I'm officially done. So, once again, I'm actually going to keep me saying goodbye earlier. I'm going to keep it. So if you want to hear me saying goodbye, go back like 12 minutes. Go 12 minutes. When I thought I was done, but now I'm done. But seriously though, guys, like, comment, subscribe, and make the world a better place. However you can, like in your little corner of the world. Just make the world a better place. Even if it's just making someone smile, that's making the world a better place. But I sincerely appreciate you for watching. I super duper appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you and goodbye. Bye-bye.